Something big is happening. Can you feel it? The world is buzzing with tension, nature is roaring with storms, and the skies are showing us signs that we can no longer ignore. From a solar eclipse described as a cosmic reset, to escalating global conflicts straight out of ancient prophecies, October 2024 is shaping up to be a time of monumental change. And this is just the beginning. Watch this video till the end to uncover shocking insights that will not only challenge the way you see the world, but might just change the course of your life forever. The cosmic signals and their spiritual meaning. As we entered October 2024, something remarkable happened in the sky. A partial solar eclipse on October 2nd. For many, this was just another astronomical event. But for those who pay attention to spiritual signs, it was far more than that. Eclipses have always held deep significance in many cultures and belief systems. They often symbolize pivotal moments of transformation. Moments where the universe presses a reset button, allowing us to release the old and make space for the new. This particular eclipse happening under Libra brings the energy of balance and realignment. It urges us to reflect on our relationships, both with others and with ourselves. Where are we out of alignment? What relationships or beliefs are no longer serving us? This is a time to ask deep questions about the connections in our lives and begin to shift them toward greater harmony. The eclipse coincides with Mercury's influence, stirring up emotions and encouraging honest conversations. Conversations that can ultimately heal if we allow them to. But let's not forget, an eclipse doesn't immediately reveal everything. It casts shadows. The truth it uncovers may take time to fully unfold, like pieces of a puzzle coming together slowly. If things feel uncertain or chaotic in your life right now, know that this is part of the process. The universe is moving things around behind the scenes, asking us to trust in the unfolding. The cosmic signals are asking us to be open to change, to allow our lives to be transformed in ways we may not fully understand yet. But transformation is on its way, and how we respond is key. The rising global tensions. While the skies were providing cosmic cues for reflection, events on Earth were growing increasingly tense. As we move further into October, the world is witnessing a critical geopolitical situation, particularly between Israel and Iran. This isn't just another political disagreement. For many, this tension holds profound spiritual implications. Some view these events as part of an ancient prophecy, foreseen in the book of Daniel, where the 70th week represents a time of great turmoil and divine intervention. This is a time when spiritual traditions begin to overlap with political events, suggesting a grander, more divine narrative at play. The tensions in the Middle East, specifically between Israel and Iran, have long been predicted by those who study biblical and Quranic prophecies. From a prophetic perspective, this could signify the beginning of a larger crisis, one that signals a moment of divine reckoning or judgment. But what does this mean for us? We live in a time where news cycles are fast, and world events can feel distant or impersonal. However, the spiritual wisdom of the ages calls us to pay attention to these signs. In the Bible, Jesus speaks of wars and rumors of wars as the birth pains of a new age. In the Quran, we see similar references to events that unfold as signs of a shift in human consciousness. These are not merely warnings of doom, but invitations to reflect on our individual and collective roles in these larger shifts. As we observe these tensions, it's important not to get lost in fear or hopelessness. Instead, we can use these moments to realign ourselves spiritually, to ground ourselves in compassion, unity, and understanding. We are all interconnected, and what happens in one part of the world inevitably affects the whole. Nature's call, the message in the storm. Amid these rising tensions, we have seen nature itself respond with increasing intensity. Hurricane Helen, a devastating storm that hit hard in the early days of October, serves as yet another reminder of the fragility of life and the power of nature. For some, this hurricane may seem like a natural disaster, a mere coincidence of atmospheric conditions. But many spiritual traditions view natural events like these as symbolic of humanity's spiritual state. In Hinduism, the concept of karma teaches that the actions of individuals and societies ripple out, influencing the natural world. Similarly, in the Bible, natural disasters are often seen as signs from God, warnings that humanity is moving away from divine order. In the story of Noah, the flood came not just as a random catastrophe, but as a direct response to the moral and spiritual decay of the world at that time. Could it be that the storms we are witnessing today, both literally and metaphorically, are urging us to wake up? Hurricane Helen, with its destructive winds and flooding, can be seen as a wake-up call, a reminder that we are not separate from the earth, but deeply connected to it. When humanity strays too far from spiritual alignment, nature responds. It's as if the earth is sending us a message. It's time to come back into harmony with the natural order. This is not about fear, but about reflection. How can we realign our lives in a way that respects the balance of the earth? What are we being asked to let go of in our personal lives? Just like the eclipse signaled a time for resetting, these natural disasters may be urging us to reset our relationship with the planet, to move from exploitation to stewardship, from disconnection to harmony. The call for spiritual reflection. As we look at these cosmic and earthly events, the eclipse, the political tensions, the storms, they all seem to be pointing to one thing: the need for deep spiritual reflection. Whether we realize it or not, we are in a period of spiritual awakening. The eclipse in particular serves as a powerful metaphor for the human soul, encouraging us to confront our shadows, the parts of ourselves we often ignore or suppress. This moment is asking each of us to pause and reflect. What shadows are lurking within us? What parts of our lives or beliefs need to be examined, healed, or transformed? In Buddhist teachings, suffering is seen as an invitation to awaken. It is through confronting our deepest pains and fears that we find the path to enlightenment. Similarly, the Bible invites us to search our hearts, to seek the truth within, and turn back to the divine. We are being called to reconnect with our higher purpose. This isn't just a personal journey, but a collective one. The storms, the conflicts, the cosmic signs, all of these events are urging humanity to reflect and realign. This is a time for introspection, not only about our personal lives, but also about the role we play in the larger world. Are we contributing to division, or are we working toward unity? Are we holding on to old patterns, or are we willing to embrace the changes that are necessary for spiritual growth? It's essential, now more than ever, to find moments of stillness, to quiet the noise of the outside world, and listen to the deeper calling within. The universe is speaking. Are we ready to listen? Prophetic timing and divine judgment. The timing of these events is crucial. We aren't just looking at random occurrences, but a convergence of signals that seem to align with ancient prophecies. One of the most talked about aspects is the idea that we are living through the 70th week of Daniel, a critical period in biblical prophecy. The book of Daniel speaks of a time when the world will experience great upheaval before the final judgment. a time when humanity will be forced to choose between paths of destruction or spiritual renewal. In religious texts, divine judgment is not meant to be seen as punishment, but as a period of reckoning and renewal. It's a time when the old is swept away and space is made for the new. The solar eclipse, Hurricane Helen, and the political conflicts in the Middle East. These events seem to echo the ancient prophecies, reminding us that we are in a crucial moment of decision. Are we going to continue down a path of division, greed, and self-interest? Or will we choose a higher path of unity, compassion, and spiritual growth? This concept of divine judgment is not exclusive to Christianity. In Islamic teachings, the Day of Judgment is a central theme where humanity is judged for its deeds and the righteous are rewarded. Similarly, in Hinduism, the idea of karma plays a pivotal role, where the actions of the individual or the collective determine future outcomes. What we do in this moment matters, not only for our personal lives but for the world as a whole. These prophecies, whether from the Bible, the Quran, or the Bhagavad Gita, serve as a reminder that humanity has always been at a crossroads. Every generation faces a moment of reckoning, where the choices we make can either lead to greater harmony or deeper suffering. This period in October 2024 feels like one of those pivotal moments. It's as if the universe is saying, the time for change is now. What will you choose? The power of community and connection. In times of crisis, whether caused by natural disasters or political tensions, it's easy to feel isolated, overwhelmed, and powerless. But one of the most powerful lessons we can draw from these times is the importance of community and connection. While the world seems chaotic and divided, there is an opportunity for individuals to come together, to support one another, and to create stronger, more united communities. Think about it. When disaster strikes, whether it's a hurricane or a geopolitical crisis, it's often local communities that rise to the challenge. Neighbors help neighbors. Strangers come together to provide aid, and the human spirit of compassion shines through. In many ways, these moments of crisis reveal the best of humanity. They remind us that we are not alone, that we are stronger together, and that our collective actions can make a real difference. Spiritual teachings across different faiths highlight the importance of community. In Buddhism, the Sangha, or community of practitioners, is one of the essential pillars of the path to enlightenment. In Christianity, Jesus emphasized the importance of loving one's neighbor as oneself. And in Hinduism, the concept of seva, or selfless service, encourages individuals to act for the greater good without expecting anything in return. As we move through this transformative time, it's crucial to remember that we are all connected. The eclipse, the storms, the global tensions, they are not just isolated events happening to other people. They are reflections of the collective human condition. And the way we respond can either strengthen those connections or weaken them. How can we use this time to build stronger, more compassionate communities? How can we come together, not just in times of crisis but in everyday life, to support one another and create a more harmonious world? Spiritual awakening in the face of adversity. Many people are experiencing a shift in their consciousness as they witness the events of October 2024. The solar eclipse, in particular, has triggered a wave of spiritual reflection. Eclipses are often seen as moments of spiritual awakening, where the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds becomes thinner, allowing us to access deeper truths and insights. This period feels like a call to awaken, not just on a personal level but on a collective one. The eclipse, along with the retrograde of Jupiter on October 9th, signals a time for introspection, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, going retrograde in Gemini, asks us to look inward, to reevaluate our beliefs, and to explore how we can grow spiritually. It's a time to question the narratives we have been telling ourselves, to look at where we might be limiting our potential, and to open ourselves up to new possibilities. Spiritual awakening is often uncomfortable because it requires us to confront parts of ourselves that we've been avoiding. It asks us to let go of old patterns, beliefs, and attachments that no longer serve us. But it's through this process of letting go that we can make space for new growth. Just as the eclipse brings darkness before the light returns, spiritual awakening often feels like a period of darkness before we step into greater clarity and understanding. This is not a time to fear change, but to embrace it. The challenges we face, whether they are personal, global, or cosmic, are opportunities for growth. They are invitations to step into a higher version of ourselves, to align more fully with our spiritual purpose, and to contribute to the collective awakening of humanity. As we move through these times, it's essential to stay grounded in faith and trust the process, moving forward with hope and purpose. As we reflect on the events of October 2024, it's clear that we are living in extraordinary times. The convergence of celestial events, natural disasters, and global tensions is not just random. It feels like part of a larger divine plan, one that is urging humanity to wake up and realign with higher truths. But where do we go from here? How do we move forward with purpose and hope in the face of such uncertainty? The first step is to remain hopeful. Despite the challenges we face, there is always hope. The spiritual teachings of the world remind us that darkness is always followed by light, that after every period of turmoil comes renewal. In the Bible, we are reminded in the book of Psalms, "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." Psalm 23:4. This verse speaks to the idea that even in the darkest times, we are not alone. There is always a higher power guiding us, supporting us, and helping us navigate through the storm. Moving forward also requires a sense of purpose. The events of this month are not just happening to us, they are happening for us. They are invitations for us to step into a higher calling, to align with our spiritual purpose, and to contribute to the collective evolution of humanity. This is a time to ask ourselves, what role do I play in this transformation? How can I use my gifts, my resources, and my energy to make a positive impact in the world? As we move forward, let's remember that we are all in this together. The challenges we face, whether they are cosmic, global, or personal, are opportunities for growth and transformation. By staying grounded in hope, connected to one another, and aligned with our spiritual purpose, we can navigate these times with grace and strength. So, what do you think? Do you feel the signs of change in your life? What steps are you taking to align with this moment of transformation? Let's continue this conversation and share our thoughts.